Hello, my name is Faith Payne, and today I'm going to be discussing social power in alpha dogs. The objectives of this presentation are to describe the 5 types of social power, provide an analysis of the dominant social power at Northwest Arkansas Community College, or NWAC, and to describe the alpha dog concept as it relates to leadership. Cosulo describes the 5 types of social power, according to the research by John French and Bertram Raven. They are legitimate power, coercive power, reward power, expert power, and referent power. Cosulo describes legitimate power as the type of power a leader gets based upon his or her position in an organization. Van Vliet states that this type of leader is obeyed by employees because of his or her title, and that there's not any recognition for the leader outside of that title. This is the weakest type of power. Once the leader is no longer in that role, he or she is no longer obeyed. For example, in my world, if somebody is the charge nurse, and the only reason that the staff are obeying that person is in their role as charge nurse, then if the next time that they work they're not the charge nurse, people don't listen to what that particular leader has to say. Coercive and reward power are opposites, but they do go together. Coercive power is the ability to punish employees for not conforming to standards. The goal of coercive power is compliance for employees, and it's really not well tolerated by employees. It's easy for employees to become resentful if they feel that their leader is always trying to find a way to punish them. Reward power is the ability to give or take away something an employee wants, according to Cosulo. That's the Whiffam principle. What's in it for me? The reward must be something that the employee desires, or it will not be effective. The most popular form of reward that a leader can offer is a raise, promotion, or compliment. Expert power is the power to influence through sharing knowledge, information, or expertise. Leaders who possess this type of power use their areas of expertise to influence their employees. The leader must have the expertise in order to be influential. Referent power is the power that a leader possesses that he or she uses their charisma and personal acceptance to get their employees to follow them. This leader is seen as a role model. That's who I want to be. I want to be just like my leader. This leader is usually well liked and is able to influence others through their charm. When we think of celebrities, they have this kind of power, but depending on circumstances, they can lose this power. There are four of the 5 powers are seen as being dominant at NWAC. Legitimate power is seen through the director of the nursing program. She's in that role. Our vice president and president of the college all have legitimate power based on their role. Nobody's questioning their ability to make decisions. The faculty are the other side of it. The faculty have legitimate power in the classroom. They're the teachers. They get to make decisions based upon their role as faculty members. The second type is coercive power. This type of power is often used in the nursing program. It's used by administration. There's always the threat that if you don't do this to conform, that you'll be written up. If this doesn't happen, you'll be written up for different things. And the threat of being written up is a frequent occurrence at Northwest Arkansas Community College for the staff. It's also a threat for the students. From the first day of orientation, we tell the students, if you don't do this, you'll be written up. If you don't do this, you'll be kicked out of the program. If you're late for clinical, if you miss clinical, all of these things combine and could make it potentially a pretty unpleasant environment for our students, with the threat of always being written up, or if this doesn't happen, that they won't be able to do this. And that's pretty pervasive. Reward power. For the staff, it's not really seen. Every now and then you'll get an NWAC thanks, and that's not really always from the leadership. It's usually from other staff members. Because we work for a state organization, we don't really get raises for going above and beyond. We're not given more money for certain things, just based upon our work performance. The students see the rewards in their grades. If you do this, then you get the grade for completing. But that's how they get their reward. And expert power. Nobody doubts the expert power of the faculty members in the classroom. We're experts in the field of nursing. We share that information with our students, and we're not really given a lot of trouble based off of that. We have the knowledge to share with our students. We do have that expertise that we get to share, which is important and helpful, and it gives some legitimacy to what we're saying. And so our students will follow us because they recognize our expertise. We're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about Alpha Dog. The Alpha Dog, according to Gaddy, is in charge of establishing rules for the employees to follow, and that's important. At the end of the day, the Alpha Dog is in charge of making sure that the pack, or those in the workplace, are all working together for the same goal. If they're not working together for the same goal, then the company struggles. The big thing is, as the Alpha Dog, they need to be able to trust that the person is working in their best interest. The Alpha Dog has to communicate that what they are doing is important, and it has to be done that way. And so the Alpha Dog really needs to, across the board, possess both the legitimate power where they're in a position to make decisions, which is just one of the keys. They also have to have coercive power where they could punish if they needed to. They have that authority. They don't necessarily have to do it, but they can. They also have to be able to reward their employees. What can they do? Can they pay them compliments? Can they give them raises? Expert. Nobody wants to work for someone who doesn't really know what they're doing. It's great if you have people who are really good in that field, but you also have to be an expert and have to be able to show that you know what you're talking about. And then they also have to have the referent power where they're charismatic and people want to follow them. They're the kind of leader that you're like, of course we'll do it that way. It just makes sense. And you just follow them based off of their personality. Casulo says that the Alpha Dog drives those to follow to be the very best that they can be. And that's what the goal of the Alpha Dog is that they take their pack and they lead their pack, and everybody is the best that they can be at the end of the day. These are the references that I used for this presentation. I hope it was helpful. Thank you.